The Haunting of Dow Hill, Kurseong. Have you ever stepped into a place so drenched in darkness that it feels alive, like it's watching you, waiting for you to make a wrong move? Why do locals whisper about a headless boy wandering the woods of Dow Hill? Why do people who enter the forest at night never come back the same? Or sometimes never come back at all? Ria, an ambitious journalist known for debunking the supernatural, thought she could uncover the truth. She didn't realize the truth would haunt her forever. When Ria arrived in Kurseong, the picturesque hill station seemed anything but threatening, but the moment she mentioned Dow Hill, she felt an unspoken tension in the air. A tea vendor's hands trembled as he whispered, "No one who stays after dark leaves untouched. The forest, it changes you." Intrigued, Ria dismissed the warnings and planned to visit the infamous Victoria Boys High School, an abandoned building rumored to echo with whispers and screams. The school stood like a decaying skeleton, its broken windows resembling hollow eyes. As Ria stepped inside, the air turned icy, and the silence pressed against her chest. Each footstep echoed unnaturally, as though something unseen was following her. Suddenly, a soft childlike giggle shattered the stillness. "Who's there?" she called, her voice betraying her fear. No answer, just a faint shuffle, like bare feet on the dusty floor. She followed the sound to a classroom with a cracked mirror hanging on the wall. Her reflection stared back at her, but something was wrong. It smiled, a twisted, menacing grin, as her own face remained expressionless. Then it spoke. "Get out before it's too late." Shaken but determined, Ria decided to visit the forest the next evening. Locals had warned her about the cries of a headless boy heard deep within the woods, but Ria believed it was just another ghost story. As the sun dipped below the horizon, she ventured into the dense forest. The trees loomed over her like silent sentinels, their branches clawing at the sky. The deeper she went, the darker it became, as if the forest itself was swallowing the light. Then she heard it. Faint footsteps behind her, mirroring her every move. Turning quickly, she saw nothing, but then, out of the corner of her eye, she noticed him. A boy, no older than 10, standing in the shadows. His clothes were torn, his eyes empty, and blood dripped from his neck where his head should have been. He didn't move, but somehow she heard his voice. "Help me, before they take you too." Frozen in terror, Rhea watched as the boy vanished into the mist, leaving a trail of bloody footprints. Against every instinct screaming at her to run, she followed the trail. It led to a decrepit bungalow, hidden deep in the forest. The door creaked open on its own, and inside, the air reeked of decay. Strange symbols were scrawled on the walls, pulsating as if alive. A sudden growl made her spin around. The shadows in the corner twisted unnaturally, forming a tall, faceless figure. It stepped closer, its presence suffocating, and whispered in a voice that seemed to come from everywhere. "You shouldn't have come here." Rhea stumbled backward, her flashlight flickering, and ran for her life. The boy's voice echoed in her mind, pleading, screaming, "Don't leave me." When Rhea reached the edge of the forest, the locals found her trembling, unable to speak. She left Kurseong the very next day, abandoning her career and the footage she'd recorded. But she couldn't escape. Every night, she hears the boy's cries and wakes up to find her reflection smiling at her in the mirror, whispering, "It's not over." To this day, Dow Hill remains shrouded in mystery. Travelers still hear the boy's cries and see shadows that don't belong. Locals refuse to step into the forest after dark, and the old school stands as a reminder of something no one dares to name. Now tell me, would you visit Dow Hill to uncover its secrets, or would you stay far away, haunted by the thought of what might be waiting? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Do you believe in the paranormal, or are you brave enough to face it yourself?